10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Fuel community. My name is Whack Whack Attack. Today is May 4th, and it's a Happy Rewards Day for people, Happy Awards Day for a bunch of people in the community, which is really great. So we're going to start with this thread that Shifrin posted in the DAO forum. So let's go have a look. Shifrin says, hello everyone, we have concluded discussions on scoring for the April 2023 Grants Bounties Retroactive Awards round. I'm happy to announce the following award winners. For those who did not receive an award, please note that applicants are welcome to reapply. The next round is scheduled to start on July 1st. Kindly note that we have implemented a new policy for dashboard applications, wherein funding will only be approved retroactively. This measure has been put in place to ensure that we drive the maximum possible value, given the large number of dashboard developers in the space. See more comments about this below. The post also begins the 14-day clock, during which, according to RPIP 15, anyone may file an RPIP disputing a grant, bounty, or retrospective award within 2 weeks of the announcement of recipients. Such an RPIP shall be subject to a snapshot vote. Any awards not subject to such a challenge will become official on May 17th at midnight UTC. So let's have a look at the denominations. It says all awards were denominated in US dollars for the purpose of committee discussion and voting on finalized award amounts. Awards were then converted to RPL at the current ratio, 47 $47 per RPL. So anyone who's getting some RPL there is actually getting a nice little 10% raise nearly as of shortly before this posting, and then rounded up to the nearest RPL. So let's have a look what it says. It says proposal scoring. You can find the GMC scoring rubric and discussion here. As we wrap up our second reward period, the GMC remains committed to refining and enhancing our process to establish a clear framework for fairness and excellence in the future. Awards, average overall scores, and feedback. So here we have the information about the rewards. So it's got all the different people in here organized by grants, and then bounties, and then retroactive awards. There's a whole bunch of retroactive awards, so definitely go and have a look at these. It's sorted by those that are accepted and those that are denied, and what that information is there. So go and have a look, and yeah, definitely check all of this out, which is really great. Further on, then we've got the final vote. So it says, after numerous discussions on individual submissions, the committee voted on the slate as a whole. The final vote was 7 in favor, 1 opposed, and 1 no vote, with relevant abstentions for conflicts and interest from Shifrin, Fornax, Ken, and Joe. And then it has the grant and award numbers there. Then there's information about the dashboard policy. For this round, we encourage anyone that submitted a dashboard grant or dashboard bounty to please resubmit it as a retroactive award upon completion of the work. Keep detailed records of the work involved in order to be compensated fairly. The GMC places high value on arguments that detail the uniqueness of the work. This policy is still in discussion and is subject to change in future rounds. We encourage community feedback and participation in this discussion. And then there was one of the grants was for people who volunteered in Denver. Pretty much the whole of the GMC was in that situation. So here it says the application put the GMC in a tough spot because 8 out of 9 of the members were volunteers and thus had a conflict of interest. In order to resolve this, the members of the GMC have decided to exclude themselves and their immediate families from the reward. This decision of exclusion is subject to change pending a community forum poll. So the idea is basically that anyone who volunteered at ETH Denver and got the POAP for I volunteered will get a small thank you, right? And I think it worked out to be like 5 RPL or something like that. However, because almost all of the GMC were eligible for that, I think, like Shifrin says here, 8 out of 9 members were eligible. We decided that we would not be recipients of that award until the point where there was a forum post made discussing that particular award and whether or not the GMC members should be eligible for receiving that or not. So that, look out for that vote in the coming days. And then this is RPIP 18 conflicts of interest. And then this is interesting. We really need to discuss this as a community. It says it's come to our attention that the GMC was not fully adhering to RPIP 18, which requires any GMC member who submits a grant application to abstain from abstain from scoring, voting on, or participating in GMC discussions about any grants during the application period for which they are an applicant. Last round, although WAC and Ken recused themselves from participating in their own grant applications, they did participate in the deliberation and voting of the other grant applications, despite having submitted their own grant applications. This oversight was due to a lack of awareness of the separate instructions regarding GMC members' exclusion from all grant considerations in the award period where they have submitted a grant. In the interest of transparency, we have taken immediate action to correct this mistake. It's worth noting that Ken and Shifrin had grants for this period. Though we do not see visible conflicts within these grants, we invite the community to challenge the rewards from round 1 and or round 2 if they disagree. The GMC acknowledges this mistake and will do everything in our power to ensure compliance with the protocol guidelines moving forward. I think we need to clarify the language of RPIP 18 to try to find a balance, because the argument that I was making is so many members of the GMC are like the most active members of the community, and because they're the most active members of the community, they are more likely to be either applying for or submitting grants or awards, and by not being able to comment on any grant or award in that cycle would basically mean that the GMC is less effective as an organization, where we have 9 members. It might be the situation that like only a percentage of that would be able to vote and comment. So that was the argument there. So we started getting some comments quite quickly. This one from Cal was saying, I was looking over the awards and wanted to flag for people that unlike last round, this round we had a lot of retroactives where people were nominated for other people for the awards. The names listed here are the names of the nominators, not the awardees, which makes sense for tracking purposes. I'm mostly flagging so that people don't think that Val and I just received a bunch of retroactive awards or anything like that. We were just profligate nominators of others. Also, thank you to the whole committee for the work that you did in this round of awards. I remember how much work it was for round 1, and even though I was not a part of round 2, I really appreciate that we have community members willing to give their time this way. This is a really good opportunity for me to give a huge shout out to Shifrin, who honestly was absolutely amazing in getting this award period over the line, and helping us get these numbers out. Shifrin was diligent, was conscientious, was really disciplined, and I think he did a wonderful job of kind of like cat herding and getting us all to get our information through, and like just did a really wonderful job overall. So thank you, Shifrin, from me, and I know that other GMC members have also pointed towards Shifrin for special thanks, and of course the rest of the GMC members as well. And Patches had some comments here. He said, congrats to the recipients. A few thoughts. Rocket Watch, which was the work done by Invis, the bots he created, has been underpaid in my view. I'll talk to the recipient, but I would support a challenge expanding the remuneration for that retroactive award. So one of the things that happened here was this was a retroactive award that was made by Valdorf on Invis's behalf. And the amount that he put in there, the GMC acknowledged that it might be that, people will come back and ask for more. With all the retroactive awards like this, we kept the maximum amount as the amount that the nominator put forward. However, that doesn't mean that that person can't challenge the reward or come back to us with an amendment. So what happened in round 1 was Romana put up a retroactive grant application in for Rocket Arb, and he was given a certain amount. Romana was not happy with that amount, and then Cal put in an amendment, and then Romana got more. So that's the kind of situation where Invis in this situation, or others who are not happy about their rewards can come and talk to us, and we'll make it we'll try to fix it within the limits, of course. And then it says, Patches says the GMC should establish a process for community members to avoid working on the same bounties. For instance, I'm interested in executing BA022308 smart node notifications, but I do not want to either step on someone else's toes or have mine trod upon. And then number 3, Twitter Spaces appear to have gotten hit with a pay cut. It's unclear if this was intentional, but if you'll be hearing from Jasper, I'm sure. At any rate, I'm supportive of correcting it to parity with the amount the team is currently compensating that work. So this was one of those situations where we made a mistake in how we assigned the award, and I think Shifting has already fixed that in terms of our accounting. So if not, then please reach out to us and we'll try to fix that. So yeah, this was really good stuff. It was really hard work for the GMC. Yeah, it's really hard work. Being on the GMC is really hard work, and I'm proud of all my GMC co-members. So definitely engage with us and engage with the PDAO. And if you have any suggestions on how to make this better, or if there are things that you want to see, definitely let us know that. Okay, next we got a bunch of media coverage about the Rocket Pool protocol and the RPL price. And here we have this article from Decrypt, who says, Stacks Rocket Pool surge in price as Sui stumbles on debut. There's this article here talking about like how Sui, which is an alternative layer 1, had a bad day, but that there was a lot of good information here about Rocket Pool and another project called Stacks, which is based on Bitcoin. It says Rocket Pool also up by 7.5% and trading for $50.27. The asset allows investors to stake the second biggest cryptocurrency, Ethereum, via decentralized pool, and then goes and gives some good information about Rocket Pool there, the RPL token. And of course, it hit $53.50 on Binance, which shows that period of growth is still continuing that we talked about the show yesterday. Okay, and then here we had Forbes as well. It says out today by Forbes Crypto. This is out today by L-Trade. The Shapella Impact ETH staked up 4% to 18.8 billion. And then it says Lido staking captures 300,000 ETH from Kraken and Binance. Other non-centralized exchange firms rolling in ETH include Stakefish, Staked US, Figment, Rocket Pool, and Bitcoin Suisse. So they have a table here of who's like kind of gaining and losing share after Shanghai and Capella. So Lido gained 6%. Coinbase, Binance, Kraken all dropped their percentages. Kraken went down 36% for shutting down all US services. Stakefish gained 24%. Staked.us gained 26%, and then here Rocket Pool gained 16%, which is really great. It's really helped us move up, which is fantastic. So this is just beginning. ETH is the deflationary and yield generating asset in the world. I'm still wondering when people out there start to look into it. Till then, buy more. Of course, that's not financial advice from me. I'm just reading the tweet there. But there's been some really good coverage for Rocket Pool in these different places. And here as well, the News Crypto had an article about Rocket Pool, saying Rocket Pool's token forms an ascending triangle pattern, indicating a bullish breakout. So it says, the $50 mark was key resistance. It's formed a bullish flag on the 4-hour chart. The RPL prices are facing stiff resistance at the 55 level. We've not reached that. Of course, you can argue that TA's technical analysis is like reading tea leaves. I really like it. It's like people said it's astrology for trading bros, which is fine. But the reason why I'm covering it here is because the media focus on Rocket Pool is really positive, and a whole lot of people are learning about what Rocket Pool is and what the protocol does, and these kind of articles just kind of keep Rocket Pool front and center in their attention, which is really, really great. So next we have some nice milestones that have been coming in recently. Here we have milestone reached. We have 19,500 mini pools have been created. So that's total validators on the Rocket Pool protocol. We should be hitting 20,000 as soon as we get a couple more rETH mints, which is really great to see. Here, we've got another 1,000 ETH coming into the deposit pool, which is really, really great. Let's have a look at Rocketscan's deposit pool page to see how those numbers are looking, because they're really, really good. I was so impressed when I saw this. So if you have a look at the monthly deposits, like I've mentioned here a few times before, the previous all-time high was around 30,000. We had 30,000 twice, 30,600, 30,100 in March and September of last year. Of course, April broke that record by far. It over doubled it. It went to 66,000. But here the amazing thing is, having a look at May, you'll see that in May we have 14,500 ETH has already been deposited, and it's only the 4th of May so far. So this is like a really, really, like, I can't overstate just how great this growth is. It's looking fantastic, as more and more ETH comes in, more and more of those validators will go online. But the fact that we have beaten many months, including March, had 11,000, December 11,000, November 11,000, August last year 5,000, July 4,000, June 7,000. Like, we've literally beaten about half the months of Rocket Pool's existence in terms of ETH entering the deposit pool in 4 days in May so far. So this is just the beginning, as I keep saying. There's some really, really great stuff ahead. Let's have a quick look at the mini pools page as well, or the validators page, and see what kind of numbers are coming up there. Give me a second. Right, so here we have the staking mini pools. Like, it counts in a slightly different way from the way the bot on the Discord channel counts it, but we have nearly 17,000 mini pools here, and the queue we have over 2,300 and 400 mini pools in pre-launch. So adding those up, it takes us over it takes us to around 20,000 mini pools basically, coming up really soon. 19,700 if you count all of these together. So the mini pools, as soon as more ETH comes online, more mini pools are getting activated. I think on Monday's episode I'll be talking about how we've got 20,000 mini pools. So it's really great. One of the things is that I'm really liking here is that we've got, if you have a look at the commission fee distribution now, it seems like over half the mini pools that we have now are LEB8s. No, not quite. Sorry, not quite. Approaching half. Over 40% of the mini pools or the validators we have now are LEB8s, which is really great. Like, so 8,592 of them that are active out of the 17,000. Just under 17,000 are LEB8s. And then we've got a few that are waiting to get moved over as well. So it's really, really great stuff. One of the things that people in the past have had issues with, right, is that the rETH, people couldn't burn rETH because the deposit pool was empty. However, Atlas changed that, and one of the really interesting things that's happening is that even though the deposit pool is empty, there's a separate amount of ETH available for people to burn their rETH and get ETH back, and that's 1% of the total amount of rETH there is. That's kept aside to burn that back to ETH, and that is basically from the awards that have been gathered up and waiting to be shared out. That's from that pool there. When that pool gets too big, then that ETH is used to spin up more mini pools to keep the APR high. It's really, really like amazing system that we've got now post Atlas, because there's the subtleties of like the queue management has just been amazing. So even though the deposit pool is empty, there's still ways for you to burn your rETH and get your ETH back through the actual protocol itself instead of going to the secondary market. So this is just an example of that happening, that I thought was a good idea to share in the episode today. This person was a mini pool operator, and they burned their rETH and got the ETH and used some of that money to buy RPL and stake it and spin up more mini pools. So good job 0x46. That's really awesome to see. Okay, so here we have a post from Yorick, who discovered that there was an issue with Nimbus. He shared the information that there was an issue with Nimbus. So he says several users have reported block production errors when using 23.4.0 in conjunction with an external block builder /MEV relay. We are investigating the root cause together with the relays, but for now the recommended action is to either disable the external relay by removing it from the start up flags and restarting, or downgrading Nimbus to version 23.3.2. And then here there's information of how to change your specific version of Nimbus. And then Yorick says the issue happens when publishing the unblinded block to the relay, at which point we are no longer able to automatically fall back. So it seems like a few people in our community have had issues with this. I know that I saw a comment from Sneaky Ninja Guy who saw that attestations were all going fine, but he missed the block, and he was really surprised and confused by that. I'm not sure if this is the same issue that Sneaky had, but I've come across people in the Rocket Pool community having issues with missing blocks, even though they are testing just fine. So I wanted you to know that this was an issue, and here STX Drew says, not sure I would roll back as I proposed empty block with 23.3.2. Currently trying different relays with no luck, but disabling MEV boost works just fine, and now on Nimbus 23.4.0. So there's definitely some issues here with Nimbus and block proposing using MEV boost, so please keep that in mind when you are if you're using Nimbus. Let's see what information we get from Joe. Once he's awake, we might get some more information about how we should proceed. So there might be like a release comment or something about changing your version or temporarily disabling MEV boost, but we'll wait for Joe and the team to give us input on that. Okay, so Joe here has an update for us about the tree generation that the ODAO is going to be doing next week for the rewards period. So as you know, like Patches did some really great optimizations, and he came first last month in the ODAO guessing game. He was like the rocket scientists were the first to get their tree gen submitted, and then since then Joe's kind of been playing around with some optimizations for the tree gen, and he says you guys remember those two tree gen optimizations I nabbed from Patches a while back? I'm running a new set now, and here's what I got. So with the new one, it finishes in 37 minutes and 36 seconds, and with the old one, they're still 74% done. It's not finished, and at 37 minutes and 40 seconds. So Joe here is saying it's saved around 25% time to get those tree gens made, and that's just with 2 of the optimizations. I think Patches had 8 or 9 optimizations in total that really made it super fast. So I'm not sure if this will be available for the members of the ODAO to use next week, but it'll probably be going into one of the future versions of the Smart Node stack. If not next week, then maybe next month. So hopefully we all won't have to wait as long to get our rewards finalized after the period ends, the reward period ends. So that was really great. Okay, next I want to take a minute to talk about the smoothing pool. Like I talked about it yesterday as well, and since then we've hit a balance of 300 ETH in the smoothing pool, and that's only after 21 days and 6 hours. So we have a whole another week pretty much to gather rewards. The previous best smoothing pool period was 310 ETH, 309 point something ETH in there. So we're definitely going to blow that out of the water this period. I think we're going to get another, maybe best case scenario, another 100 ETH in there. Of course, like I was saying yesterday, this amount is going to be divided across a bigger number of people, so your reward amount might go down a little bit. There was some idea that having an LEB 8 would mean that you would get a smaller share of the MEV smoothing pool rewards. However, because you'll be getting rewards from 24 ETH worth of RETH holders instead of 16 ETH worth of RETH holders, like that gap would actually be bridged if you only have one LEB8. And if you have two LEB8s instead of your mini pool 16, then you'll actually be getting like more rewards than you were getting before, because your share of commission is higher. So that's really great. Like, I think people in the smoothing pool will have a nice time of it this month. So thank you to everyone in the smoothing pool. Like, we're all going to do well this month, it looks like. Okay, so next we have some updates from Joe, who has some information about the Proteus. He says it has begun. I've officially ordered parts to JLC PCB's warehouse to have them assemble my boards. I'm nervous. So Joe was saying in the past that they made the PCBs for Joe and he soldered them in himself. He says that was okay for the previous boards, where there was only one board and only SMT stuff on one side, but the new setup has two boards with SMT on both. It took several hours just to make 12 pairs, which is obviously not sustainable, so they're going to assemble the boards for me too. I have to get them the parts and some fancy pick and place files, and they run them through the pipeline. I ordered 30 of the boards themselves, so they have enough to keep things going until the new ones, until they get new ones over here. So Joe was giving some updates about how the boards for the Proteus is being outsourced, which will take some of the burden off Joe. Hopefully it doesn't impact the price of the Proteus too much. Okay, so yeah, and that was some information that Joe gave about that. So yeah, that was really, really cool. Okay, so next oh wait, that's my Twitter notifications. That's not what we want. Here we have Blockscape. I've talked about them a couple of times over this week, and they're the new SaaS that is built on top of Rocket Pool. They are they'll take your ETH. They have their own RPL. They'll spin up mini pools. They won't take a cut out of your ETH rewards, I think, or they take a very small cut out of your ETH rewards, and then they keep the RPL rewards for themselves. As you deposit 8 chunks of 8 ETH, you will get an NFT representing your share, and that's the system that they're going for. So here they gave some more information. So it says each NFT contains metadata that showcases your validator. Traits show info like consensus client, execution client, and more. The color is generated from mint address and more factors. 2 NFTs will not look the same. So then they have this information of what kind of goes onto the NFT. So what consensus client you're using, what Geth client you're using, if you have MEV boost enabled, what is your mini pool number, what is your stake timestamp, how much ETH did you stake, what is your staking type, and what's your validator address. And then it's got some information about Blockspace on there. So this is a screenshot from OpenSea, I believe. It looks like OpenSea interface. I'm not sure if that's right. It says the easiest way to own an Ethereum mainnet validator, and then it's got the information that you can read the description on there as well. It says introducing Rocket Pool validator by Blockscape, an exclusive NFT collection representing Ethereum validators powered by a secure, high availability infrastructure. As pioneers in the blockchain space, we strive to provide a seamless and robust platform for Ethereum staking, ensuring security, reliability, and maximum rewards for our validator community. Each NFT in this collection symbolizes an Ethereum Rocket Pool validator, carefully crafted with stunning visuals and intricate details that reflect the cutting-edge technology that drives our infrastructure. By owning a Rocket Pool validator NFT, you become part of an exclusive network that fuels the future of decentralized finance, and you'll be able to showcase your commitment to securing the Ethereum ecosystem. We as Blockscape are long-term validators in the Ethereum and Cosmos ecosystem, and then more information on their website. So they're definitely doing some, and then here's, you can see what the art will look like, and they've got a link to their collection on OpenSea, and that's what I was just getting that information from. So if we have a look at OpenSea, it seems like they have 3 validators here, 1, 2, and 3, and you can buy the validator from OpenSea, or you can mint an NFT from their platform, I believe. So that they only have 3. I guess they only have 3 LEB8s live at the moment, and this is their certificate of ownership. So I don't know the full mechanisms of like how rewards are accrued. It might be that the NFT kind of goes up in value in line with the rewards that it's that each mini pool is each validator is getting. So that's really cool. It's nice to see companies doing interesting things, and of course, as I said yesterday, they're extremely Rocket Pool aligned, and they are staking their own RPL tokens. So good for them. The way that I kind of think about it is, it's just like a really complicated whale marriage where there's a RPL whale, and they're just like totally polyamorous and marrying lots and lots and lots of ETH holders. But I'm not saying go and put your ETH in there. Like, you might want them to be battle tested. You might want to see what kind of stuff they're doing. But the fact that they're building this is really cool. Okay, so next I want to talk about Mainnet DAO a little bit, and the EV Mavericks community, and getting them on the ODAO again. Like we talked about it yesterday. So I made a post in ETH Finance yesterday where I offered to lend them the 1,750 RPL that they need to cover the bond if they're selected. So I said yesterday, Ethical Trade made a post about how the EV Mavericks should join Rocket Pool's ODAO. I loved that post so much. I covered it in today's Rocket Fuel, making the case that I strongly support them joining. I support Mainnet DAO joining the ODAO so strongly that in the episode I made the offer of lending them the RPL that they might need. And then that post basically got a lot of traction in the EV Mavericks Discord, and people like started kind of rallying behind that quite quickly, and really like the idea. Of course, credit goes to other members of the community who are doing all the work. I'm just kind of like a flag bearer for them. So Ethical Trade then had an update today that he posted in ETH Finance saying, so can the Mainnet DAO really become Rocket Pool ODAO member? This is based on what I've seen so far. The EV Mavericks community support the Lions, they support this idea a lot. And then the question of funding is already solved thanks to my offer to lend them the money for the bond. And then they talked about why I was doing that in yesterday's episode. Ethical Trade says, I agree with everything said there. ETH Finance is my home too, and it's the home of so many Rocket Pool supporters. Thank you so much for your offer to me, WAC. It's super generous and cool to see. And now the ODAO's documentation, we can see that unlike normal Rocket Pool nodes, which can be created and run permissionless by anyone, membership on the ODAO is by invite only to invite only, basically, like existing members have to invite you. And the Ethical Trade says, so this is where we're at, and I don't think we're going to get invited to the table just like that. If we want this idea to become reality, the only way to get noticed by existing ODAO members, in order to do this, I believe we should come up with a complete action plan, sort all of the questions, multi-sig, who does what, who runs the node, and show that we're up to the task, extremely motivated, fully aligned, and only then ask for a seat at the table. Remember a few days ago when there was some doubt about the ODAO, this is how we could do something about it. Anyone in, and if you own a line, you can already show your support. So there's a snapshot vote here saying, should Mainnet DAO pursue membership in Rocket Pool's ODAO, and says this is a proposal asking whether Mainnet DAO should pursue becoming a member of the Rocket Pool's ODAO. There's information there about like who the Rocket Pool ODAO is, who the EV Mavericks is, and all that kind of stuff, and what their missions are and how they align. So far, there's 100% yes vote from their community to pursue this. Community members will be doing a lot of time making a full proposal, making it as good as possible. So it definitely will require effort. But it seems like they're fully backed and fully aligned with this. There was some really good discussion that took place here as well, like from different ETH Finance community members, saying from Burr10 and from ETHRader and from Howrog. And also from ETHRader some more as well. So go and give this discussion a read. Like, the one thing that I love about these guys so much is that they are completely Ethereum and Rocket Pool aligned. Their values are our values. Like, there's very few communities out there who are doing such cool stuff. And they've already made like a lot of gestures towards how all the money that they receive from the PDAO will go towards funding public goods, which I think is a really great stopgap until we get an idea of what the what the ODAO is going to look like in the future from our side, basically from the Rocket Pool side, about how we're going to diminish it, how we want to ideally remove it eventually. But until then, I think that getting groups on the ODAO that are aligned so well and so strongly and have such great motivations, I think is a really, really good thing. I put a poll in the Rocket Pool's trading channel saying, how do you feel about our ETH Finance, ETH Mavericks joining the ODAO? Great, nah, and who are they? And it seems like, we had, like, this is extremely informal. We had 17 people vote for great, 14 people vote for nah, and 10 people vote for who are they, like, don't have much information. So this actually started a really good conversation about the pros and cons of the EV Mavericks joining the ODAO, what that might be like, and also some ideas about like how we want the ODAO to actually work in itself. So it kind of became a bit more of a meta discussion. There were some really, really good points made from people like Noshwa and Valdorf as well, and others. They were making really good points, and the discussion was a very, very good discussion. Like, I really, really like reading that. If you want to give that a read, like, the links are in the description of this video. So definitely go and give that a read. Here we had Baked Ent saying, hi Rocket Fuel, and he said, hi Mom. And then Valdorf said, hi Rocket Fuel, and then he also said, hi Baked Ent's mom. So Baked Ent's mom is getting lots of shout outs today. And then Valdorf said, my mom ain't reading this or watching Rocket Fuel. So yeah, but definitely go and give this discussion a read. There was a really, really good discussion, and depending on how you feel about it, definitely make your voice known. This is something that I'm going to be promoting on Rocket Fuel a lot. Like, I've been talking about having more people on the ODAO for a while, and that the goal, of course, is eventually to reduce their income, like reduce how much they get paid, and remove the ODAO eventually completely. I think until then, this is a good stopgap to get, like, the rocket scientists to get a second node, to get groups like ETH Finance is EV Mavericks, Mainnet DAO, the DAO that they created on the ODAO would be amazing, just because they're going to do such good things as ODAO members, and they'll use the RPL for really, really great purposes. So I'm going to be supporting that idea until I don't, until we get an idea of what's going on with that. The ODAO does a whole lot of stuff, and this is not just like free money. Basically, like, they actually do work, and actually Valdorf just shared this post of the work that they do. So it says, current ODAO responsibilities. The ODAO members must be informed voters on protocol update proposals. The ODAO should actively communicate with the Rocket Pool community at large. So these are some of the ideas that are being shared about, the kind of like the constitution that we're working on, or how it should work out. So it's definitely, I'm not sure if this is ready for Rocket Fuel yet, but here it is anyway. So about how they should effectively fulfill Oracle duties, how they should effectively fulfill support duties, how they should they may propose setting changes, and how they should be informed voters on setting changes, and all that kind of information. So there's a whole lot that the ODAO does, but I think the EV Mavericks could definitely do the job really well. So yeah. And finally, SNG shared this yesterday. There was a whole lot of discussion going on in trading about the Fed rate hike. It went up by another 0.25% or 25 basis points, but it seemed like the language around further future rate hikes has kind of softened a lot. So it might be the case that there might not be any more rate hikes coming, potentially, or maybe just one more. That, of course, has people in like the crypto communities as their risk on assets kind of bullish. However, there are a whole lot of indicators that things in the economy are not looking so good. So it's really weird, like juxtaposition of people in crypto being kind of bullish, but people in like the regular economy being like really scared and bearish of what's going to come. I know I don't talk about this stuff too much on Rocket Fuel because it's not really directly related to Rocket Pool, but just because people in the community are like really had a lot of engagement around this topic yesterday, I thought I'd give it a quick shout out. And if you want to read about that as well, you can start here from Sneaky's comments and read it as the comments came in. So I'm going to end Rocket Fuel's today's Rocket Fuel episode here. Thank you all for watching and listening, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the last episode of this week. Have a great day, everyone, and yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye.